And welcome back to the Uncool Show. I am Dylan.
I'm Nathan.
And we are on episode 25 today. We are going to do the second installment of something we kind of did after we went to Chicago. And we're just going to go over some of the physical media purchases we've made, some of the cool finds that, the Indiana Jones level archaeologists that we are trying to find.
Just a bunch of dorks.
Yeah, a bunch of
Collecting
dorks.
movies and crap.
It has to be the 4K. Nathan and I have evolved.
Yes, I do have some Blu-rays to show, but
You do, that's true.
I do have some that have not made the jump.
But I don't know if I've said it on this show. Nathan and I, we made the choice a few years ago to start doing the 4K thing and get the 4K player and the whole thing. And
luckily the PS5 came in handy with that.
Yes. I am looking to get an OLED TV though. That would be cool eventually for the full 4K experience. But anyway, we're just going to do another physical media recap today. And Nathan, you can go first.
Yeah, I'll go first. I recently purchased All the President's Men on 4K Steelbook, which is even more of a dorky excuse to upgrade this. I just watched that.
It's such a good movie.
It's one of my personal favorite movies. Every time I watch this, it goes up in my estimations. And I don't know, it's two great performances in Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman. And for those who don't know, it's about the reporting the Washington Post did in the 70s, uncovering the Watergate conspiracy.
Yep.
And it is just catnip for me, and I'm sure for you, and a lot of other process movie lovers.
I mean, this is like the progenitor to like Zodiac, essentially, which is like baked into your and I's film love. I mean, this is everything that those procedurals wanted to be and what they, this is like the foundation for a lot of that, and it holds up today. It's beautifully shot. I can only imagine how good it looks on the 4K. It looks
unbelievable on 4K.
Yeah.
Some 4K transfers are a little lacking. This is not at all. And, it's an all-time classic for a reason.
Yep.
And they did a great job with just the design of this cover and the whole steelbook itself. And, it's just ultimately one of my favorites.
The shot on the back of Hal Holbrook as
Deep
Throat, which you're not going to be able to see, but
you can kind of
bring
do it a little
bit. It'll focus.
There we go.
Just a beautiful shot. It's like an iconic shot in American cinema. But it's a cool bookend to that steelbook for sure.
Yeah, so this was like a must purchase for me. Must purchase.
I love how for your first one, it's like an actual classic.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling out Congo.
We're gonna transition.
I'm pulling out Congo. Now Nathan bought me this for Christmas. Now Congo is based on the Michael Crichton novel. It is nothing like the novel.
That is such a crazy set.
And this thing is just insane. This movie is bad. This is not a good movie, but it is fun. It is funny. It is a cult classic. You've got Amy the talking gorilla. She's drinking cocktails. She's having fun. People are getting melted. People are getting eaten. And this is just incredible artwork all over it. Again, not that anybody's going to care, but come on.
Bruce Campbell on the
we got
front,
Bruce Campbell, you got the...
shows up for like 2 sequences in the movie.
You can do it. It's like me trying to get the dinosaur to come out in Jurassic Park. Come on, little guy. It's a push. Focus. It's not going to do it. It keeps going to our eyes. It's because I have the setting on eyes, of course. But this is just an awesome B movie that means a lot to our family. It's a really fun experience. And
I also bought this recently.
There's gorillas being shot by lasers on the back of it. It's just insane.
This comes from a great label called Vinegar Syndrome that does some awesome. They put love and care into all their restorations.
Yeah, this is really cool.
And I had the same one. I bought it for myself, and I still haven't watched it. I'm sure it's a great
No, I haven't either. We need to have like a movie night, but I don't even know who directed Congo off the top of my
Frank
head.
Marshall.
That's right.
Legendary movie producer.
Yep, that is
for Spielberg.
Again, this movie is not very good, but it is fun, and it's trying to capitalize off that Jurassic Park energy. And again, it's just like a cult classic in our family, and a great gift from Nathan.
Speaking of Spielberg, this is one I haven't watched yet, but I recently bought Catch Me If You Can on 4K. This is like All the President's Men, one one of my all-time favorite movies, and one that was like an immediate purchase. I knew when this was coming out, and I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered this. And this is just the great con man story of Frank Abagnale, and played by Leo DiCaprio, and Tom Hanks is the is it FBI
Yeah,
officer
I believe so.
that's chasing him throughout the 60s as he goes through his many careers. It is based off of a true story, and this is just another massively important movie and one of my favorite Spielberg movies.
Yeah, same.
One of his most underrated movies.
Yeah, it's really
in
far
my
up there
opinion.
for me.
I think for our generations, this is a huge one.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I don't know. This is another one that I absolutely had to buy.
I just recently rewatched The Aviator, and I need to. Is there a 4K of The
There isn't a
Aviator?
4K
I didn't
of
think there was yet, but that's another. Scorsese movie that just reminded me of Leo. But like, in that run, he was just cooking. Not that he's ever stopped cooking, but
From like Titanic on, he doesn't make many bad decisions. I mean, this was 2002, and I think some other Leo movie came out in the same year. It might have been. It was either close to Aviator.
The Beach.
Oh, The Beach, which is another. I like that movie.
I like that movie.
Leo has
its,
a pretty flawless track record.
Yeah.
He's made some duds here and there, and this is far from a dud. This is an amazing movie.
No, it's a classic.
For a reason.
I also this is one that I had to pre-order. I haven't opened this one up yet, but Tombstone, the Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, classic Western. I actually was really late to this movie. I watched it for the first time maybe like a year and a half ago, and immediately went to see if there was a 4K. There was one for pre-order, and this has become kind of hard to find, unfortunately, and kind of pricey. But I love this movie. I think it's a near perfect kind of like dumb, fun Western with, still a lot of depth to it. Val Kilmer is incredible in this movie, as is Bill Paxton. I'm always a sucker for Bill. I know you are too. Mm-hmm. But George P. Cosmatos, he cooked on Tombstone. I know many people have seen Tombstone. This isn't like,
This isn't breaking
ground, but this is a really good 4K transfer from what I've heard. It's a nice steel book. And honestly, I probably should open it up.
I like how you have a lot of items that are like, I haven't even
watched it.
It's going to sit on the shelf.
There's just so many movies that I have like that. But this is a great film. And shout out to Matt Hansen. This is Matt Hansen's favorite movie.
I still have to buy that. I do love that movie. I watched it, I think,
Tombstone's
when I was in
incredible.
high school.
I love it. Yeah.
It's fantastic. The next one, I want to say 2015 Best Picture winner, Spotlight on 4K. I watched this, I think also back in high school, and liked it quite a bit. And then I want to say 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, watched it again, fell in love with it. Like All the President's Men, another very process-heavy movie.
Yep.
Like Zodiac, like a lot of our favorite.
With a really
favorites.
good cast.
It's a fantastic cast with Mark Ruffalo, Michael Keaton, Rachel McAdams,
yeah.
Leah Schreiber, John Slattery, and a great Stanley Tucci performance.
I forgot Tucci's. I've only watched this one time.
I didn't even notice this. Look at that quote. It's all the President's Men for our time.
Yep.
It's a pull quote.
Yep, and that checks out. I mean, I forgot about John Slattery, and this is an incredible cast.
There's more in this cast, like awesome character actors that aren't even listed in the main credits. But yeah, this is just an incredibly important movie for its time and still nowadays. It's a
very prescient story, unfortunately.
And unfortunately. Yeah. But another great, entertaining movie, despite the subject material. Very heavy material, but filmmaker Tom McCarthy does a fantastic job, and he's another great writer-director who I like to pay attention to. And yeah, this is just a very down-the-line, good, process-laden thriller. It's great.
It's something. It's accessible, even though it won Best Picture for a reason. It takes really hard things and makes them not entertaining, but kind of riveting and important.
The dialogue is incredibly crucial to that movie.
Next, I'd picked this up a long time ago too, before Christmas actually, because this is something really important to me. But it's David Fincher's Panic Room, starring Jodie Foster, Kristen Stewart, Jared Leto, and Dwight Yoakam, Forrest Whitaker. but Dwight Yoakam is kind of my highlight here. But I love David Fincher. He is slowly putting out his old 4Ks. There's going to be a pre-order for Fight Club any day now. It's supposed to be a few weeks ago. But he's going through the process of redoing all of his films in a new 4K transfer. And Fincher's one of my favorites, if not my favorite director working right now. I love Panic Room. It's something that, it was one of my last Fincher movies I ever saw. It kind of snuck up on me because I didn't want to give Kristen Stewart a chance, really, and I was never a big Jodie Foster fan. But that has changed for both of them, really. But yeah, this is just a very interesting home invasion movie, mother and daughter based, with Forrest Whitaker and Jared Leto and Dwight Yoakam as the villains, the burglars, with some really interesting moral twists and turns and great performances, great direction. And again, I'm a sucker for anything Fincher does. So the moment that Fight Club 4K is, I'm pouncing on that. That's my dog.
Speaking of Fincher 4Ks that have been released, I still haven't gotten to 7, but I watched Social Network, and that's a great transfer. Social Network looks perfect. I'm sure that movie looks perfect.
7 was really good looking too.
And now for something completely different. This is What About Bob? It's kind of a bootleg Blu-ray.
I remember you told me about that.
Sloppy second sales, where they put out movies that are either stuck on DVD or just not available, not even on streaming or available to rent on VOD. And this is one that I believe is stuck in movie rights hell, where I can't get an upscale, and I haven't gotten to this Blu-ray yet. I'm assuming it isn't too much of an upscale, but talk about a movie that was incredibly important in our family.
Yeah.
Watched it on VHS, watched it on DVD. I'm excited to check out whatever this Blu-ray is. But it's going to be nice to have on my shelf, along with all my other Blu-ray collection and 4Ks. This is just an ultimate comedy classic for the two of us.
We love our whole family.
I'm pretty
loves
sure
What
we
About
could
Bob.
quote 90% of this movie.
Yeah, this movie's lexicon. It's like shared, common. It's a feast for our family.
And I think for a lot of other families it was.
For sure, I know Mr. Scrady and the Scradys were into this movie.
My in-laws, the Olsons, love this.
Do
movie.
they? Yeah. What about? I mean, it's just the tension between Dreyfuss and Bill Murray, which is real, off screen, it is so palpable and so hilarious and so perfectly managed by Frank Oz. I think this is a completely underrated masterpiece. I love What About Bob.
Yeah, I hope this one keeps getting passed down to further generations. I know I will.
Yeah, that's.
And I think this is one of the better Bill Murray performances in comedies, and Richard Dreyfuss. I mean, both, like you just pointed out, very difficult personalities on and off set. And once you put them together, it's comedy gold, but yeah, behind the scenes, I'm sure no one had a good time. Not many people had a good time making this movie.
Yeah, which that is unfortunate.
It's for our pleasure, which I will take any day.
And if you haven't seen What About Bob, there's a ton of it. It's a very smart comedy. Yeah. It's a lot smarter than the cover might make you think. I'm gonna leave. You know what? I'll just do it. This is the only one that I have not seen. This is another gift from Nathan from Christmas. I watched the other one from Nathan that I will handle, but Deep Cover, maybe you should talk about this a little bit. I know it stars Bill Duke. I know Jeff Goldblum has a fun turn in it.
Bill Duke directs it.
Oh, okay.
Bill Duke doesn't. I think he maybe is in it for a little bit. I saw it a couple of years ago.
I believe he has a tiny role.
It's a great 90s crime thriller starring Lawrence
Fishburne.
Fishburne is one of my personal favorite actors, and this is probably one of his first major starring roles. I don't think it was critically acclaimed at the time or a box office hit. It kind of flew under the radar, but I'm glad the folks over at Criterion made the Blu-ray. And
yeah, I'm excited to check this out.
Entirely underrated, and I knew Dylan would like it. That's why
I'm pumped for the Goldblum performance, especially.
Oh, he's so good in it.
As a cocaine trafficker, it says.
So good. The next one is a 2025 release from A24, The Smashing Machine, with The Rock and Emily Blunt, directed by Benny Safdie. This is a really
The less of the problematic Safdies
Yes.
as of right now.
And very unique. The both of those brothers are very unique, and
Yeah.
I love the score of this movie. Who's
Nala Sinefro. I pre-ordered the vinyl. It's not here yet. Just actually got released a few days ago finally. But yeah, the score, she's like a Belgian jazz artist, and she's incredible.
Yeah, for minute one, the score kicks in, and Benny just really knows how to utilize that score to perfection in this movie. And I think especially The Rock gives a great performance. I'm excited to check out this Blu-ray. I mean, 4K. I haven't watched this yet. I've seen it twice, though. I saw it twice in theaters. And it's a flawed movie, but one that I'm excited to revisit, and one that I find interesting with every watch. I think it's unique in how it handles the trajectory of a UFC fighter who you kind of start off with his peak in the beginning of the movie and slowly but surely goes down the road of recovery, but also his career is basically over by the end of it. Yeah, just a really good movie. And A24 does a great job with all their releases, because they handle their own releases for the most part. So
very few, yeah.
Smashing Machine's great.
Well, I'll just skip to network. You might as well just
I'll take network.
We both picked network. This just came out. Just an unbelievable film directed by Sidney Lumet, script by Paddy Chayefsky. I mean, this is one of, if not the best American satire ever made, in my opinion. I know you just rewatched it.
I just watched this.
This won a bunch of Oscars. It's not like super popular in terms of like the everyday person.
I think it's kind of losing its ground in terms of being like, it was so critically acclaimed at the time and so celebrated. And I think that among certain cinephiles, I mean, it is still like an all-time classic, and it is for me.
It's an all-time performance from Peter Finch.
From really everybody.
Faye Dunaway is really good in that.
Robert Duvall, the great late great Robert Duvall. No, this is just an all-time script by Paddy Chayefsky. You just feel so much of his anger and all of his cutting humor and his just deep, bleak outlook on the world.
On society, especially like media.
Yes, and that's most of his
vitriol. This takes place in a newsroom. This is about which is always a perfect opportunity and the perfect setting for that type of movie to like get your message out without being too heavy-handed.
It's all about like sensationalizing the news, and you said prescient about one of my other movies, Spotlight. This is incredibly prescient nowadays with the news landscape.
Probably a little too.
This was a great release from Criterion. I was super happy when they announced this.
Yeah, I'm pumped to check that out.
So yeah, it's awesome.
It's a cool cover too. They always do a good job with their covers.
It always is.
This was a gift from my brother Ryan, Life of Chuck, the Mike Flanagan film that came out last year with Tom Hiddleston and a bunch of other people. Mark Hamill's really good in this. Jacob Tremblay, Karen Gillan, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and a bunch of other people kind of pop in and out. This is a really weird movie, but I really enjoyed it. Very sweet, very saccharine, very weirdly presented and framed. I think it's something that on a second watch, I'd pick up some stuff from the first and second act that I might not have picked up before. But it's just a very weird, esoteric tale of love and loss and life and following your dreams and the limitations of dreams. And it's based on a Stephen King short story. And it's one of my favorite Tom Hiddleston performances. I will say that. He's very good in that. There's a dance sequence in the second act of this movie. It pretty much is the entire second act. Really, it's a very weird movie, but I love it. And it's definitely worth checking out if you're in the mood for something uplifting and thought-provoking at the same time.
Yeah, I had a good time watching that movie. I enjoy it. Speaking of a movie I really enjoy.
Yeah, that's great.
The River Wild on Blu-ray. This is something, just to give a little background on my relationship with this movie, I'll never forget when I was a kid on demand. Charter on Demand, there is a section for free movies you could watch.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Those
were
I think
great.
migrated just for like TV transfers and edits. And I remember putting this on. I don't know how in the hell I heard about this as like a 11 or 12-year-old, but put this on.
I think mom always talked about that movie quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's a great watch. The River Wild is so good.
It is.
Directed by Curtis Hanson. I'm forgetting what else he directed at the moment, but he does a great job here, and you get really good performances from Meryl Streep and Kevin Bacon, David Strathairn, Joe Mazzello from Jurassic Park, and
John C.
Reilly. Like I kind of just named the whole cast.
Yeah.
You know, that makes up the bulk
Bacon's
of the film.
great in that.
Bacon does give a great villain performance in this movie, and
I love John C. Reilly in that movie too.
A fun, light, pulpy, 90s thriller, which I love. I love those kinds of movies, and I haven't watched this in a while. It's probably been almost 10 years since I rewatched this, but I wanted to get it, and I will be watching it soon. It's a great time.
I watched that at some point last year, and it holds up. Mm-hmm. It really does. Now, I did watch In the Heat of the Night, which Nathan got me, about the murder detective from Philadelphia, Virgil Tibbs, which is a great name. It's a Sidney Poitier performance, directed by...
Norman Jewison.
You're crazy on that. You're right. But great performances from Sidney and from Rob Steiger.
Mm-hmm. Rod Steiger.
Rod Steiger, yep. About a Philadelphia detective who goes down south to help with a murder case, and is soon presented with some of the most bigoted people, including this police chief. See, I coughed. You didn't even cough.
No.
And it's a very tense movie with a lot of social commentary mixed with a very thrilling, interesting, twist and turn police procedural. To me, this came out in '67, really ahead of its time, really well shot. There's some really great shots in this movie. Quincy Jones does the score to this movie.
Is a highlight.
But yeah, it's a movie that I had heard about for years. I'm glad that Nathan finally bought it for me. So yeah, In the Heat of the Night is great, and it's definitely worth checking out. It blew me away. It didn't Sidney win.
He did not. I think he was nominated. Rod Steiger won Best Actor that year.
Yep, and it was nominated. It won Best Picture, but he didn't win.
Yeah, that's a classic that I came late to the party on. I watched that last summer, and I have the same 4K, and it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
I was blown away by it. The next one, I want to say this came out in fall 2025. This is John Carpenter's Arrow Video edition of In the Mouth of Madness, which is a bonkers horror movie starring Sam Neill. It's part of John Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy that he made. And it's really hard to describe. It really moves. It's only 95 minutes. Carpenter really knows how to pace all of his movies, and this is very creepy. It has great creature effects
it does.
Towards the end. And it is a hammy, over-the-top Sam Neill performance that I love.
I love Sam. Yeah,
Sam
he's
Neill's
great
one
in
of
this.
the
This
underrated
is great
actors. And that is great art.
Yeah.
And
again, you won't be able to see it.
Carpenter is one of my favorite
hide your
filmmakers.
face and my focus on it.
Maybe you'll do it now.
Yeah, kinda.
There we go.
Good God. Get me out of there.
This is our show and tell.
Yeah.
I'm
trying. The art is so cool. It just you can't get it to focus.
No, it's a great film.
Charlton Heston is in this.
One that I watched, I want to say 3 years ago for the first time when going through a lot of the back catalog of Carpenter's films. And yeah, with all of these that I haven't seen yet, I'm really excited to get to this and go from the Blu-ray that I watched to a 4K. It's not. I would not. I would be like, oh, it's for. Yeah, watch it. It is not. It's certainly not for everybody.
It's not for everyone. Yeah,
but for horror
definitely
fans, I think this is a classic. So, In the Mouth of Madness.
Recently on sale for 30% off at the Barnes and Noble. Picked up Roofman, the Channing Tatum, Kirsten Dunst movie.
I really enjoy Channing Tatum. I really have enjoyed Kirsten Dunst and her. I don't know if you even call it a reconnaissance. I mean, her resurrection, so to speak.
Kind of a revival. I think she's getting back into the mainstream again.
I love Derek Cianfrance. I think Place Beyond the Pines is one of the best movies of the last 26 years. I love that movie. I think it's a perfectly directed film. And it was cool to see him mesh that visual styling and the way that he shoots his films with a little bit of a more lighthearted approach to life. There's a really cool performance from Lakeith Stanfield in this movie, who I always love. There's a very small Ben Mendelsohn performance, which is awesome. I always love seeing Ben Mendelsohn, the legendary Australian actor. But yeah, this is just a really fun, sweet story. Well, I mean, maybe not sweet,
It's like bittersweet.
Bittersweet, yeah, for sure. But it's based on a true story. It's really fun, really entertaining. Peter Dinklage pops up in this. Who else pops up in this? What's his name that I always...
He was in Place Beyond the Pines.
He's in Place Beyond the Pines.
Marty Supreme.
I can visualize him.
He was in
Oh my gosh.
Rebel Ridge, too.
I do not remember.
Oh my gosh. Emery Cohen.
Emery Cohen.
Emery Cohen is in this.
Role.
Yeah. Root Band is just a lot of fun. I kind of wish, and I really thought that Kirsten might have gotten some love for this movie. She's really good in this, in a very interesting, emotionally demanding role. But yeah, I just love to see what Channing does. This is kind of a swing, and I know it didn't do well commercially or financially, so to speak, but man,
one lives on a
good.
little bit. I think that is a pretty accessible movie.
definitely his most accessible.
And it's a little catch me if you can coded in terms of following this criminal who you really do root for and you come to love.
Yeah.
And you see his good intentions. And I think that's one of my favorite Channing Tatum performances, easily. The next one is a little curio. This is one that I've heard of for a couple of years now, called Out of the Blue, directed by the late great Dennis Hopper, one of my all-time favorite actors, and a person we were just talking about earlier today, who had a crazy life and career.
We were relating him to Shia LaBeouf. They're like the same dude.
I watched this for the first time this year, and this is a 4K from Severin. I think this is my first 4K from them. They like to highlight, old cult classics or undiscovered classics, and this is a great portrait of young life in the 80s. It's like very punk music inspired. It's hard. I don't want to get into specifics because Dylan hasn't seen it yet, and he's probably gonna end up borrowing this, but Dennis Hopper is directing and also in this movie. He turns in a performance that I question. I'm like, is this one of the best actors of all time? Like, I always think that when watching him, no matter what movie he's in, no matter if he's in like, a big blockbuster like Speed or a sports classic like Hoosiers or Out of the Blue, no matter what, Hopper always turned in great work. And I think this is one of few of his directed movies. Obviously, he did Easy Rider, which is his most famous, but yeah, this kind of slipped through the cracks, and I think this is one that cinephiles have really come to love and appreciate.
Yeah, I'm excited to check that out. I love Dennis Hopper. Guy who was always getting in trouble and always drinking and always making hell for other people. Again, like LaBeouf, but you can't really argue with the performances. I don't know if I'd ever want to work with the guy, but it's fun to watch from a distance.
Exactly.
I love Shia from a distance. Don't know if I'd ever want to really, be working on a film with him for 9 months. And I think the same could be said for
be directed by
Dennis Hopper. Yeah. But rest in peace to Dennis. The guy was amazing. Speaking of another rest in peace, Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. This just came out on 4K on Criterion. And I love Eyes Wide Shut. The first time I watched this, maybe 5-6 years ago, I was just blown away by it. Blown away by the audacity of it. Blown away by the performances, especially Nicole Kidman. I'd never been a Nicole Kidman fan, really, until this movie, but she just blew me the hell away. And if you haven't seen this, it's just like the horoscope, dreamscape of a movie about high society and this surreal underbelly shrouded in mystery and conspiracy theory, and it's very interesting and very, again, prescient in its own way.
Oh, I didn't even think of, yes, very prescient in terms of,
Like the
we'll
traffic,
say it, the Epstein list.
the Epstein stuff, and there's actually characters in this that look a lot like Epstein and Ghislaine, and people thought that like he might have just been like putting that in there as a little thing because they were operating for a long time. But yeah, this movie is about, it's very psychosexual. It's a very sexual film, but it's mainly about the power structures that are keeping that in play. It's a very interesting, deep movie, and I think it's one of Kubrick's, if not Kubrick's, best looking movie, especially some of the night shots in this. Great use of light, great use of halation in the post-production process. And yeah, I just think that Eyes Wide Shut is a masterpiece and definitely worth checking out. It stands the test of time. It always will.
It's a master filmmaker's last work,
Yep.
and it's great. And it's considered a classic, not even a cult. Like, I think that critics didn't know how to appraise it at the time. Nowadays, it's considered like a bona fide classic of '99. And it's a great film. I watched it for the first time this last December, and I think it's incredibly brave of Nicole and Tom to be putting their relationship up on screen like that.
Yeah.
They got divorced soon after this movie came out.
Yeah, you can see it.
You can see that
You can feel it.
dynamic coming across the screen, and it is hard to watch at times because you feel like, oh, life is imitating art a little bit too much.
There's like a 15-20 minute scene where they're just getting ready to go to this dinner and they're just smoking weed and arguing. And
Right.
and that's the whole scene, is just them getting higher and higher and getting more and more into this weird deep argument. That's one of my favorite scenes in film. I love that
too.
scene.
Mine too.
The tete-a-tete is perfect.
My last one is a classic that I think I watched 2 years ago for the first time, called HUD, starring maybe my favorite actor in Paul Newman. I know he's a big for me, you, and our Uncle Gus.
Yep.
That's like Gus's person.
That's his dog.
And he's one of mine. Gus introduced me to a lot of great Paul Newman flicks. And
Same.
HUD is one that a bona fide classic of Newman's that I hadn't seen yet, and it is just I love this movie. I rated it a 4.5 after my first watch on Letterboxd. If I had to watch it again, I think I might go with a 5. I think it's one of Newman's best performances, and one that it's pretty different from the rest of his career. He is very cocky and arrogant, and I mean, this comes at a time in 1963, probably like 10 or so years into his acting, Newman was kind of coming into his own and was nominated for an Oscar for this performance. And Martin Ritt directs this movie, and he directs it in like this beautiful black and white. And I think the cinematography is just gorgeous. It's from a novel by Larry McMurtry, who is one of like the most legendary American writers of the century. And this comes from the Australian company Imprint, which does a lot of cool movie work and putting out things once again that are either just stuck on DVD or just haven't been upscaled yet. And HUD is like a low-key classic. I think that people, big Newman fans or just fans of movies in general, go back to HUD, and it's like this postmodern Western that's fantastic. I love HUD.
Yeah, me too. It's been a long time. I need to buy that. That exact one.
That might be coming. I saw a thing that said HUD might be on Criterion soon, so I might have to just scrap that. But
that's cool.
Yeah, I hope. Cross my fingers.
In my last piece of media isn't a film; it's a film score. The Daniel Lopatin. I think it's Lopatin.
It's one of the two.
Yeah, I can never get the phonetics right. Of Marty Supreme. Daniel is also known as 10 Tricks Point Never. It's like his electronic music name. He did the score for Uncut Gems as well. And this is in that same vein, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of synthesizers, both modular and otherwise. Some weird flutes and strings. I was really impressed with this movie, top to bottom, but I really think the score was incredible, and I think it should have been nominated at the very least. I think it was one of the strongest scores of the year. Same with the Smashing Machine. That didn't get nominated for an Oscar.
I think the Marty Supreme score is the score of the year.
Yeah, it'd be one of those two, and neither of them even got nominated. But it's a really cool looking, you got Marty doing his thing and all this like Asian advertising, and there's some cool posters in here. I think there's a big ping pong poster that I'm never gonna put up, but yeah, I love collecting records, and I do think that this movie kind of got.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah. And then on the
wow,
back,
that is really cool.
One end of it's the Marty Supreme ball, and then you got.
I'll hold up this head.
Yeah, just a very cool little poster.
Down a little bit. Yeah, that's super cool. I love that.
I forgot the name of. I shouldn't. It'll be right here. Endo. That's his main rival in this movie. But yeah, just Daniel is just such a impressive musician, and this is just another great addition to his catalog. Right before he put this out, he also put out a solo album called Tranquilizer, which is like all taken from like stock sounds, and it's just really interesting to see how creative he is and how gifted he is. And I really look forward to seeing what he does next, whether it be with Benny, right? Benny, Josh Safdie.
He works mainly with Josh, I think.
It'll be, I don't know if he'll ever work with Benny, but whether God only knows if Josh is going to keep getting work after his controversies too.
Yeah, we'll see.
But great movie, great score, and if you haven't listened to the score at the very least, it'll kind of blow your mind.
It's like almost like an 80s movie score.
Yeah.
With all the synthesizers.
Yeah.
It's such a cool score.
It is. I'm really happy that finally came. I pre-ordered that right when I could off of A24 Music. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of all we have. We just wanted to do another one of these, something shorter, something that wasn't going to be an hour and 15 minutes this time. A little more easily digestible. But we're going to keep doing these every few months, Mm-hmm. And we also have some other ideas for more things. I definitely think we should have done like an Oscar pre-show. Mm-hmm. You were gone and traveling and this and that and sick. But maybe next year like a prediction show or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean we could talk about the Oscars right now. We're not going to, but there's always media to be covered and news and new movies, and we definitely need to do another new release movie to talk about the now playing, so to speak. But yeah, shorter episode, different episode today, but thank you all for joining, and if you have any recommendations for physical media, or if you have any questions about these movies or anything like that, let us know. We'd be happy to talk. But thank you. Have a good one.